Hello there, the Hughes Kettner couch has made its way to Koblenz again. We're here for the Alan Parsons Live Project show, and I'm delighted to be joined on the couch by the guitarist Alastair Greene.
Hey man, good to see you.
Good to see you, thanks for joining us. How's the tour been going?
It's been great, man. We've had a lot of fun. It's kind of gone by pretty quick. It's been about 2.5 weeks, but we had a blast. And this is the last of 9 shows. So yeah, it's been great, man. Love it.
And Europe is a place that you enjoy coming back to?
Yeah, man, we've been here a bunch, and I still love coming back. I mean, it's a long plane flight, but I mean, it's all good, man. And Germany's been great to us, and great to Alan. So it's a lot of fun to come here.
Have you ever played here with your solo group?
I haven't. We haven't gotten over here with my band, but we're hoping to at some point bring the blues rock over and do that over here. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that that's going to happen sometime soon.
Because that's something I wanted to ask you about was kind of the dual pathways you've got going in your career at the moment.
Right.
I mean, you've got your own blues band, which is really sort of taking off.
Yeah,
it seems to be,
well,
and then you've got Alan Parsons on the side. It's not on the side.
Well,
is it?
it's interesting. I kind of refer to everything as kind of a part-time job, because Alan, tours a few months out of the year, and then when he's not touring, I'm busy with my band, and I do a few other things here and there. But the focus has been, when Alan calls, I go and we go tour, and I get to play guitar for all that great music and stuff for all those big audiences. And when that's not happening, I'm trying to work as much as I can with my band. And it has been going good with my band. We put out a record on one of the last kind of big blues, roots rock labels last year, and we have a booking agent now, so we're really trying to kind of, when we're not working with Alan, be out there with my band doing it. So it's actually good. It's stressful, but it's great because, this is what I've wanted to do with my life. I want to play guitar, and I'm getting to do it. I feel very, fortunate to be in that position.
And on top of that, you're also doing session music, aren't you?
I do. I mean, I don't do a ton. I mean, I've played on a lot of records and stuff like that, but it's not like I'm doing sessions like every week or whatever. But I do get called to do stuff, and mainly bluesy slide guitar stuff and things like that. So yeah, I try and stay as busy as I can playing guitar.
And isn't that how you actually got into the Alan Parsons project?
It is. I was doing a session at his house for a friend of mine's record. It was kind of like more of a country rock record. And Alan was there and met him, and he called me to play on his record, about a year later. And then, after that, I ended up subbing for his old guitar player. And then when he revamped the band, he asked me to be the guitar player. But yeah, it all started in the studio playing on a friend of mine's record. So pretty cool.
Yeah. And so how has it been since then, juggling the two different things?
It's actually been good. It's been getting, like you said, I mean, my band's been getting busier, but I mean, the key to life is communication, but I mean, just as long as everyone's communicating, Alan's got a booking agent, I've got one, we try and just kind of exchange emails, and, when something's coming up, we'll go to, Alan's agent and go, hey, can we book this block of time for my band? And it's just staying on top of your game and just staying in communication with everybody and stuff like that. So far it's worked out really well, and it's great for me. I mean, I wanted to play guitar, like I said, and I'm getting to do it, so I'm very happy about that.
As a guitar player, what are the biggest differences between approaching, let's say, a big outdoor Alan Parsons gig and a sweaty gig with your band?
That's a good question. Well, playing with Alan's a big challenge because it is a lot different than how I play guitar. Like, I guess I should rephrase that. The guy that played on the albums, Ian Berenson, played guitar a lot different than me. So playing in front of a lot of people and having to nail his parts, I do play pretty close to the record a lot of the time. And, that's a challenge, because you want the fans to be happy. They want to hear the solos from the record and stuff like that. And those songs are, a specific way, and you play them that way and try and, do them justice and be respectful of the music. With my band, there's a lot of improvisation. I don't necessarily always go by a set list. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We'll veer off the set list. I'll play a longer solo, so there's a lot more kind of improvisation and freedom in that. And, much like, Cream or Hendrix had that kind of improv, like in the studio, it was one thing, but then live, it was just, a lot of jamming and stuff like that. So that's kind of how my band is. It's definitely a different experience.
It's definitely sort of even letting off steam in comparison to...
Yeah, in some ways. I mean, actually, Alan's very generous. I mean, and it's interesting because I don't think a lot of people know how many guitar solos there are in Alan's songs and in the music. So it actually is a really good guitar gig. There's a lot of great guitar moments and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I stay pretty true to the album, and then there's a couple songs where I get to kind of cut loose a little bit. So it's fun, man. I mean, I enjoy doing both,
the two guitar sounds with the two different projects are extremely different, and yet
Yes.
you're using the same.
I am.
amp for both.
I'm using. I've been using the TubeMeister for 3 or 4 years now, and actually a couple years ago, Frank came to a show and was just like, we also make this blues kind of amp or whatever. So I've been using the Pure Tone with my band, and so it's been great. Now, I can kind of get that blues sound that I dial in with pedals with my band, and then the TubeMeister for Alan is just like those 3 channels cover everything that I need to play Alan's music. It's got that really pristine, clean sound, and that middle sound's kind of a good rhythm, and then for the lead, the 3rd channel, it's great, man. I feel real fortunate to get to use the different amps and get all the great sounds that I'm able to get for both bands, so.
I've seen that you said in a previous interview you use often the 1 watt setting on stage for the Alan Parsons Band.
Yeah, it depends on the show. Like outside tonight, I think we're on the 18 watt. But if we're like in a smaller theater or something like that, if the stage is lower and there's people sitting right in front of you, you don't want those people to have permanent hearing damage, right? And then makes it easier for the front of house guy in a smaller venue. So yeah, I've used all the settings on the TubeMeister for various gigs, and obviously it's fun to play loud as a guitar player, but you have to be sensitive of the needs of the front of house engineer who's mixing it, and then your other bandmates. That singer's got to be able to hear himself, so I can't just be sitting there just cranking it all the time. So yeah, it's very versatile in that regard. So,
is there a big difference in between setting up for an outdoor show like this, where the sound might not carry so much, and one of your own indoor club gigs?
Well, yeah, with my band, we rely more on the stage sound, like what you hear on the stage and what's coming out of the monitors. So we tend to be, my band isn't super loud, but we've got the girth and the power and pushing some air, But with Alan, we're using the in-ear monitors, and so, and again, that's what attracted me to the TubeMeister in the first place, was I didn't have to crank it up to get this, amazing sound, and it sounds good in the in-ear monitors, at a low volume. So yeah, it's kind of 2 different games, having in-ears and playing with Alan, and sometimes playing very quiet, and then playing with my band, where I get to play a little bit louder, and then you're using, floor monitors and stuff like that. So it's 2 totally different experiences.
Okay. And this is the last night of the tour for you at the moment, Alan Parsons. What's coming up for Alastair Greene after this?
Well, I'm going to go home. I've got some shows with my band. We've got some more shows with Alan. And then I'm actually going to do a short tour with a progressive rock keyboard player friend of mine named Eric Norlander. He actually plays in a band called Asia featuring John Payne. It's very kind of keyboard-heavy progressive rock. I'm going to do a short tour with him. My band's doing a blues festival on the East Coast in September, on the East Coast of America, I should say. And then some more gigs in Mexico with Alan are coming up, and then I've got another tour with my band. We're going to go out in early December and do a little kind of tour of the Midwest in the United States. So it's going to be busy, and I'm going to try and get back into the studio with my band, and like I said, trying to play as much guitar as possible.
New albums in the works or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been writing. I've got a new album's worth of material, and so it's just kind of a matter of figuring out the scheduling when to get into the studio and how we're going to kind of go about it. It's, for anyone that has made their own album and, tried to write 10 or 12 songs and put it out, it's a lot of work and coordinating and scheduling and budgets and all that stuff. But I would feel lucky to be able to say that that's what I've got coming up, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And where would you recommend a new Alastair Greene fan goes to get the best taste of your playing, your material?
I would say our newest record that came out last year, it came out on a label called Eclecto Groove Records, which is a subsidiary of Delta Groove Records, and it's called Trouble at Your Door, and I think it's 12 songs, 11 of them are original songs, there's 1 cover, and it's great, man. I've got a great band, and we got good recording and stuff, and if you're a fan of that kind of, I don't know, like early Johnny Winter or Cream or Government Mule, that kind of blues rock. We try to be very respectful of the roots of the music, but at the same time, we come from a rock background, I mean, look at me, I don't look like I'm a, totally traditional blues guy or whatever, but I really respect the music and all the players that came before and all the guys that started that music, so I want to be respectful of it too, so we try and mix that with the rock influence, so...
Well, I wish you all the very, very best with it. Where can fans go to see you online? Is it AG
It's agsongs.com if you don't want to spell my name. So AG Songs is a lot easier than trying to spell Alastair Greene, but if you can spell Alastair Greene, soundcheck.com, then you'll get there too.
Well, super. Like I said, best of luck for the last show of the tour tonight.
Thanks, man.
And
Appreciate
hopefully
it.
see you around next year in Europe again.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it. Hey guys, Alastair Greene here. As you can see, I'm up on stage finishing up Soundcheck with Alan Parsons. We got a beautiful day here in Koblenz, Germany. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I just want to thank all my friends at Hughes Kettner for the support and the great sounding amps. I've been using the TubeMeister-based now for a few years, and it's just a fantastic amp, very versatile, very great stage volumes that we can get loud and soft. Here's just a quick little sampling. This is the lead channel I've got it on right now. So this is just a little sample of what this sounds like. This is a moderate volume. I think we're on about the 18 watt setting right now. So I got plenty of sustain, plenty of juice in there at a low wattage. If you try to use some other amp and get that sound, it'd be so loud that you guys' hair would be blown back and you'd be, in the back row going like this. So I want to thank all you guys at Hughes Kettner for the support, and everybody out there and all the Alan Parsons fans, and we'll hopefully be back in Germany as soon as possible. Thank you guys.